Second, so maybe you can share a few thoughts of Ukraine, of your impressions of Ukraine, and yes.
Well, I am particularly happy to be back in Ukraine. Well, 10 to 15 years after I came here on behalf of the international community to try to help to assist your country in its first steps after the independence to try to establish a market economy and to facilitate its transition to it. Of course, we discovered at the time a country in an extremely bad shape, and one of the key difficulties we found was the fact that the ruling elite of the country was not at all familiar with the basic meaning and disciplines of market economy, not to say a social market economy. Well, we tried what we did in other countries, Russia or Poland or all the other transition economies, and it was a long process, not very fruitful immediately, but we proceed with the normal steps, including the creation of a new currency with your present president, who was the central bank at that time, the governor at that time. Well, now I'm come back and I see a very new landscape. Of course, not everything has been finished. Plenty of reforms are still lagging behind, but the first year of the millenary have been positive for your country, not only in terms of consolidation of democracy, but also by allowing very strong growth to take place, inflation to be, at least at the beginning, to be brought under control, even if recently we have new problems in this field. Same thing for your current account position. We see also that a vibrant market economy is being established with us, as we see in many other countries. Indeed, these first steps of the market economy to be accompanied by growing inequalities in the country. The richer become more rich, the richest becoming richer, the poorest feeling left behind. And of course, this is certainly one of the problems which must be attended. But now, clearly, Ukraine is now opening itself to the world market economy. I hope that soon its joining of the WTO will add impetus to this, and indeed I believe that if the Ukrainian governments are now able to go for more equity in the distribution of income, caring more about the poorest, giving more dynamism to the economy through further structural reforms, then one could be certain that this country will enjoy a much higher, much better standards of living and more job opportunities for its people. This being said, this will require a tremendous effort of training, of preparation of new elite, particularly in the business community, and this is why I see a major importance on the efforts you are undertaking to create a business institute here, promoting in particular corporate social responsibility.
Yes, thank you very much. I have one more question about which is related with your background. There are quite a lot of discussions in Ukraine. Should Ukrainian currency be regulated, or should it be free currency in relation to foreign currency, to US dollar? What would be your opinion on this?
Well, there is not such a thing as a totally free currency in the present world. I believe there is a lot to gain from Ukraine in freeing its financial market, and well, starting by its external trade and then moving to financial liberalization. But it must be done by steps, and it must go together with a strengthening of the financial structures of the country. If not, major risk would be there, as we have seen in particular in many Asian countries. This being said, the problem for your country is to have an exchange rate policy which would serve properly the development of the country. And here, the major question to be addressed in the medium-term perspective is to know to which kind of monetary system your currency should be pegged. Should it be pegged to the dollar? Should it be pegged to the euro? Depending on the developments of your external trade, you will have to make a decision here, making sure that the currency, at the moment you make this decision, is not under or overvalued. Of course, the currency must always fluctuate in a kind of range, but the central bank has here an important role to make sure that the exchange rate is well adjusted and then the government has its own role in avoiding to create inflation through its own fiscal policy in particular. But so far, your experience during the first years of this century are encouraging. Not everything has been perfect, but there were episodes where you were able to bring inflation down significantly. You could have done further, and of course it is easier to do in periods of strong expansion than when the economy is cooling down. At this very moment, certainly it is more difficult, but the major risk to be avoided is stagflation, no? Having at the same time stagnation of the economy and inflation of prices. This is why this moment is important, and that I hope your central bank will continue to perform with wisdom.
Thank you. You participate in the Ecumenical Social Week. Which part of your life is it related? Why did you decide to participate in this Ecumenical Social Week, and why questions which are raised here are important to you personally?
Well, I came here as a former chairman of the Semaines Sociale de France, which is an old and at the same time very modern institution. It was created one century ago, but it has resuscitated after 68 crisis, and it plays an important role in my country to inform the public opinion about the problems arising and trying to, under a Christian inspiration, to have a more educated, better prepared, more responsible public opinion. And this has been developing over the time. When I was a student, I benefited a lot from the teaching of the social weeks. And this is why when I was back from my job in the International Monetary Fund, I accepted to be the chairperson of this institution. And during the last few years, we have taken many initiatives in order to work together with the similar institutions in other European countries. And this is the reason that we were enthusiastic when our friends from Ukraine invited us to come here for something which is very new, which is unique in the world, an ecumenical social week, while in general it's only Catholic institution in my country, for instance in Italy, Spain and others. I believe that this is an extremely important and promising idea, as Ukraine, as my country, needs permanently to refresh its social ethics, to have a new reflection on not the problems of yesterday, but the problems arising now and to be addressed in the near future, and under the inspiration of the Christian social teaching. And I am certain that after what we have seen yesterday and we are seeing today, these ecumenical social weeks will be a superb instrument in your country to make sure that the public opinion contributes really to orientate the governments in the proper direction, to make Ukraine more human and better integrated in the European space.
Thank you very much for your answers, and thank you for sharing some of your thoughts with us these days. Well, I think we are more or less finished with the interview.